There is a unique experience happening this month, and people of all ages are invited to step back into the mid-19th century and explore Canada's past. Joining me with all the details is Alicia Powell. Alicia, tell me about what's coming up next at Balls Falls.
We are so excited to welcome the community out to Balls Falls Heritage Days, the weekend of July 19th and 20th. So that's a Saturday and Sunday out to Balls Falls Conservation Area to step back in time and see what an industrial village was like back in the early 1800s through to the 1920s. That's how the Ball family Victorian era home is furnished in its original style. Folks of all ages, children, their parents, kids at heart are welcome to come out and enjoy everything that we have in store in the Heritage Village that weekend.
Alicia, for people that don't know, what is the historical village exploration?
Absolutely. So on Heritage Days, folks get to step back in time. They're going to head down to our Heritage Village. It's a beautiful, accessible walk or stroll down the Niagara Escarpment, across the 20-mile creek, and then over into the Heritage Village. There we have a series of buildings. Many of them are original to the property, so date back to the early 1800s. And folks are going to get to see some live demonstrations, some historical interpreters, some really wonderful volunteers and community partners that are out demonstrating historical crafts, trades, and exploring the history of the Ball family and their settlement here in Lincoln, in Niagara. So we'll have demonstrations in the blacksmith shop. This is one of my favorites, and our blacksmith who's joining us, he is actually a professional farrier. He's phenomenal. A farrier is a person who makes horseshoes, and horseshoes would have absolutely been made in the industrial village of Glen Elgin, as it was called back in the 1800s. So we'll get to step back in time, meet the blacksmith, and see what he's up to in his shop. Of course, we've got a really phenomenal display barn, and our volunteers of the NPCA have been working fastidiously to bring that display barn up and providing some new displays and things to interpret and understand about early settlement. We have a phenomenal coopering display. That's folks who make barrels. They would have needed a blacksmith too. And new from 2024 for our 50th anniversary of the Thanksgiving Festival, we have a phenomenal broom making display. And we will have a professional broom maker on hand throughout the Heritage Days weekend as well, so folks better step out and see that. We'll have Niagara's hand weavers and spinners on hand, showing us how to drop spindle and weave using raw wool and other textiles. Of course, there was a woolen mill at Balls Falls back in the 1800s too, and we cannot forget about the Victorian home, the Ball family's original home that was built in the 1840s. It is styled to the 1920s, so you've got to come out, check out the interior display, take a walk through time. It's absolutely phenomenal. And of course, there's all the great nature on display as well.
And this is a family-friendly event. There's something for kids too.
Totally. There's something for folks of all ages. We'll have children's craft stations, scavenger hunts, and activities like coloring, that sort of thing for families. And you're definitely going to stop by and hang out at our cabin for a little while underneath the apple tree and maybe make some yarn dolls. These are little activities in a craft that we do with our Spring Awakening adventure that we do for school children in the springtime. So we'll get to make some yarn dolls there in the village. Families and kids might even get to help us make a soup or a stew over our fireplace by the cabin, and they might be able to help us make some bread and load that up into our brick bake oven and see what bread making and baking would have been like in the 1800s as well.
Can you talk about the historical significance of the area and why it's important to the MPCA?
Yeah, absolutely. Balls Falls Conservation Area is a really significant site to us. We are able to access it and have the use of the property, all of the artifacts, the buildings, thanks to the generosity of the Ball family, Clarence and his wife Mildred Ball, who are the last descendants of the family to reside on the property. When the NPCA overtook the property, we knew that we wanted to establish restored heritage village space. And we've been working to preserve and honor those buildings, the artifacts and their traditions for many years. And actually, really excitingly, in 2024, the town of Lincoln recognized Balls Falls as a heritage site of significance, and we received that designation and unveiled the plaques and markers for that at the 50th anniversary of the Thanksgiving Festival. So that was really special to us. It's a site of significance for so many folks in our community. People who got married there, whose parents got married there, and they returned to get engaged or have their photos taken. So there's a lot of really unique stories and family histories as well that make Balls Falls really special.
Really special. Been there for many different reasons, weddings, activities.
Yeah.
This event coming up. It sounds amazing. How can people find out more information about it?
Absolutely. You've got to check it out. If you're around and available the weekend of the 19th and 20th, highly recommend to stop by Balls Falls. You can learn more at our website, npca.ca/events, for more information. And of course, admission into the conservation area, that gains you entry into Heritage Days. There's no additional fees. You're welcome to come out and explore. If you wanted to take a hike, you can hit the Bruce Trail too, or the 20 Valley Trail. Highly recommended if you're into some more rigorous outdoor adventure and exploration. We have a whole lot in store, so you're going to get a little taste of what we have coming up for the Thanksgiving Festival as well. We have a number of new exhibits, like our brand new apiary and beekeeping exhibit that you're definitely going to want to check out on Heritage Days weekend. And hey, if you can't make it on that weekend, you're welcome to drop by Balls Falls anytime until Labor Day. Just check in with our front desk. You can request a heritage tour or a nature hike delivered by one of our education team.
Sounds amazing. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio today.
Thank you for having me.